So I'm headed over to G&L Guitars, or BBE Sound in Fullerton, California, to drop off that Fender Blues Deluxe reissue over to you, Doug. And dude, again, I'm super excited for the little tour. Hopefully I get to see Leo Fender's last known workstation. Rumor has it that it's just as he left it before he passed away. So that'll just fill this little gap in my heart, man. It means a lot to me to be able to see that. And I know that his last residence is right down the street from there. So I might just swing by and shoot some video if I can. People are inhabiting the dwelling now, so I guess giving away information or showing addresses or anything like that would be imprudent and a bit of a violation for people's privacy. So just let me weigh that out in my mind. But I just wonder what it's like in there. How much of it is still original? The design, you can tell, is just classic Americana. And I wonder what kind of projects he had going on in his garage, which is still back there. So I'll be very interested to see that place if I can. So anyway, let me focus on driving. All right, so I couldn't film it, but just passed up the old radio repair shop that Fender had off of Harbor. And I'm about to get on the State College, and then I'll make a left on Fender Avenue in a few moments. So maybe I'll flip the camera around. All right, now we're gonna look for Fender Avenue. Let's see. There it is. All right. Here we go. Making that 2548, and it does. There we go. This is the factory. One of the buildings in it anyway. Alright. G&L. I'm so excited. I can't even. I feel like I just kissed a girl for the first time. I mean, I know how. So I got to pull over. I'm still in the neighborhood where G&L is. Hazard lights. I just got to talk to y'all for a second. But all right, the video that you're gonna see is gonna be shaky. I tried to be discreet, and Doug, if you see it, I'm so sorry. I had to film something, dude. Thank you for taking me through there. And for those of you guys who have never been to the G&L factory, a lot of the old Fender manufacturing fixtures are still there. Even the benches that the ladies were using when they were wiring up the old amps. Like, oh my God. A lot of the pickup winding stations, like Ibarra, what's her name? It's there. I just saw it. It's unbelievable. But it's a small manufacturing strip, very humble from the outside, and even on the inside it just looks like a place where they build guitars. It's nondescript, but the amount of history behind, I mean, anybody could put a building together, right? But the amount of history and just mystique around the whole brand, it's inconceivable that the stuff that I used to wish I could afford as a kid and look through the old magazines was made right back there, right there. In fact, like my first G&L that I got in like the 90s, or the mid 90s, you know, it was made right there. It's unbelievable that it's just right there. It's unbelievable. But you're going to see some awful footage. Doug, I probably caught your your posterior in a few of the shots, so forgive me. But you just made my month, man. It's even bigger than that, because this place in Fender have just such a special place in my heart that I feel some odd sense of excitement and closure, and I can't put a name or a description behind how I feel right now. I feel elated, of course, but it's just beyond that. I'm giddy. I just feel giddy. Why do I feel like that? And I know, Doug, we were talking, you were saying, hey, it just wears off after a while, and I get it. I used to work at Disney, and it was like, oh, look, another robot that wants to interact with me, you know? And I mean, after a while, you get used to it. But how cool was this? I mean, sorry if this is as good as I could do. I'm not a documentary filmmaker. I'm just gonna show you guys a little bit of what I was able to see. So thank y'all for hanging out. Randy, I gotta go to your house and pick up your pig nose. And Kyle, I need to give you your Mesa Boogie right now. Bye.
That's floating around, different shapes.
Yes, indeed. How long has this been here?
A lot of this stuff is Leo's old stuff.
Wow.
I mean, all the drill presses, the bumping wheels next door, all this machinery was Leo's, except for the CNCs. All the old stuff, it's all Leo.
That's indeed, man.
This one. Putting all the inlay stuff. Prep work. Finishes. All these guys are getting ready to go to polish.
Oh, dude, what a beautiful.
Yeah, like glass and blue.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Little seafoam.
Yeah, totally.
Gorgeous.
This is the first one, it's polished.
Oh yeah. Insane.
This is Leo's work. That's all. It's probably mine.
Oh, no problem, man. No problem.
It's his workbench. It's just pickups laid out. It's with magnifying glasses.
Yeah.
And he's got a bunch of prototype guitars in there and stuff. But he's got his oscope in there and just old peanut cans, you know, keep his nuts in it.
Yeah.
Washers, things like that. But,
Yeah.
How
cool was that, man?
Yeah.
The laboratory next to the laboratory. Oh, and by the way, I was just too excited to even get everything out. So let me just tell you how humble Leo was. His last laboratory, and you'll see the video cut, was situated right across from the restrooms. You could reach your arm out from his office and hit the restroom. The restroom's right there in the factory. So everything's exactly like it was. Doug was saying that the peanut cans, he used to put all the parts in, his oscilloscope, parts of guitars, amps he was working on, experimental things. It's all in there, but the thing was locked. But that's okay, it's just right there. I mean, come on. It's just right across from the bathroom. Don't worry about it. Like the last place where Leo would go and experiment with things, you know, it's just right there. Don't worry about it.